live it, breathe it, love it. All sports, double coverage.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. We hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Don with the Great Man Sauce, and Cardboard Cooper is back once again. Week 7 preview. Coop, you love that intro. Every time it plays, we come out of it, and you're always smiling, bro. You love the part when Sauce goes, live it, breathe it, love it. Oh.
I about lose my shit every time I hear him go into this little low Morgan Freeman whisper, live it, love it. That's so great.
The best is when he drops and he goes, just give us a Sauce, just go, double coverage. I love it.
Double coverage. That's the best, bro.
And we got to get the people hyped. We got to get them hyped because we're back for another NFL preview where we've missed a few, but, you know, we live on opposite sides of the globe, so we try to get these out when we can. Welcome, Coop. How have you been, brother? How have you been? We haven't spoken for a couple of weeks.
Alive and kicking, man. Following the crazy NFL season, and I know you guys don't follow much of it, but I've been deeply immersed in the MLB postseason. That has been what I've been doing. But other than that,
you got the Braves game on in the background there.
I do. I need the Braves to cash right now. This is.
There we go. He wants that payout from FanDuel. He wants that payout from DraftKings.
I need it, man.
I love it. I absolutely love it. A lot's happened. I think it's been 3 weeks since we've done one of these, so a fair bit's happened. And what we'll do is we'll give our respective thoughts over the last 3 weeks within the games that we read for week 7 of the NFL schedule. So our thoughts, some of the teams on what's happened. I think we'll just go straight into it, guys. First game on the agenda for week 7 here is Panthers at Giants. Panthers are they're falling off a bit here. They started 3-0. They're 3-3. Giants finally got a win. But Saquon Barkley obviously hurt with his ankle, which was unfortunate. So your thoughts on this one and predictions?
I still think the Panthers are going to pull this one out. But I do think in the coming offseason, you'll probably see the Panthers elect to probably draft a running back, because as talented as Christian McCaffrey has been, he's kind of shown himself to be unreliable. Similar to what we were just talking about with Kyrie Irving before the show started. As talented as you can be, if you're not completely present all the time, it can be detrimental to your team. And Sam Darnold is good when you ask him to throw 20 to 30 times, but when you start asking him to throw, 45 or 40 to 50 times is when he kind of gets himself in a little bit of trouble.
Yep.
So I think as long as the Panthers can get any sort of remote running game established, I think they will win this. It'll be about a 1 touchdown game.
Saucy?
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm not going to elaborate much more. Darnold, I feel like, he never got a true opportunity at the Jets. He has shown a lot more here at the Panthers, where he's actually had a bit more support. But yeah, not having McCaffrey out there, and then they don't have another really decent running back that can, get the chains moving. It's made it more difficult for him, but the Giants stink. So Panthers are just that bit better.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going Panthers in this one as well. Next, we've got Jets at Patriots. New England has won 11 straight games against New York. Do we think it's going to be 12 straight?
Yeah.
I
mean, like, the bottom line here is it's not even a Bill Belichick is great, or, New England is just so talented, or it's just New England culture. It's just the Jets suck, man. And the Jets have continued to suck for quite some time. And I don't think the Jets are going to not suck enough to get by the New England Patriots this week. So, I think the New England Patriots are going to take this game, and I don't think it's going to be that difficult for them, to be honest.
Thoughts on Zach Wilson through his first 5 games?
I mean, got the win on the board, which is a confidence booster. They are lacking a lot of pieces around there. He has shown some promise. He's 5 games into his career. Jets are notorious for not, helping rookie quarterbacks and young quarterbacks and developing them. I mean, you see Darnold, he's left and he's having more success where he's had pieces around him. It's a team game, as much as good as the quarterback can be, you still need serviceable and, above average players around you at certain positions to help out around on the offense. So Kilted Haggy says Jets by 6, telling you, look, I don't think so, because when the bookies have got the line at 7, and what I seen from Mac Jones last week was unfortunate to not get the win. It should have at least. I think they'll have enough to get the job done.
Tell Kilted Haggy
sure.
if you want to hit my DMs, I'll give you 3-1 odds on that the Jets do not win by 6, that they indeed lose by 3 or more, and I'll give you 3-1 odds on it.
Bookie Coop. There you go. And next up, we've got, this is actually going to be a decent game. Chiefs at Titans. Derrick Henry, 783 rush yards this season. More than 26 other NFL teams. Not players, teams. Just one player. That's
Monster,
messed
man.
up. So, thoughts
He's
on
a
this
beast.
one? It's just struggle town for my homeboy at the moment and the Kansas City Chiefs. So it could be an interesting one.
Yeah, this is tough. I think this one can go either way, and I think it's going to be a 1-touchdown game. I think ultimately, I don't know if we spoke about it on the last time we did one of these NFL previews a couple weeks ago, or maybe I spoke about it with someone in our office. But I think ultimately what's really happened and why it's been such a struggle with Mahomes is that the Bucs really gave the template for how to play Mahomes to basically the entire league in the Super Bowl. Play 2 deep safeties over the top and not let any deep balls go overhead. And I think it's kind of been, like a real, not like a ceiling for Patrick Mahomes, but he's at a point now where he's kind of hit this learning curve where all the great quarterbacks get, and how do I adapt my gameplay when people start to figure me out a little bit. And I think that's where you're starting to see the signs of struggle. I think he'll figure it out because he's just, an athletic freak. But, I actually kind of like the Titans on this one, admittedly, just because Derrick Henry is a one-way beast and the Chiefs' defense doesn't really hold up that well.
They rank 24th in the league for for rushing defense, 27th in the league for rushing defense for yards against, averaging 133 on the ground, and on the offensive side of the ball, the Titans 164, third in the league in rushing, and you've got the beast Derrick Henry. Beasted and feasted Henry. He's going to come out and have a monster game. Man, they're $2.80 to win at home, plus 4.5 on the line. Yeah. I mean, I'm nearly thinking that's a cheeky bet there.
You might as well put on Derrick Henry to have over 100 yards rushing in this game as well. Chuck that in there.
Yeah, I mean, same game multi, throw it down. Same game parlay, as they say in America.
Yeah.
So look, I really like the Titans in this game. I just think, if they're able to just keep continually, I mean, their rushing defense is terrible. If they could just keep moving the chains with Henry like that, wear him down, keep moving the ball along the ground, keep the clock moving, less time the ball is in Mahomes' hands. So, for him to work his magic, the Braves have they hit a run, have they? He's just celebrated on the camera.
Yes, bro. Let's go. Sorry,
Let's go. He's excited, but I really think that that will be the case, and I really do like the Titans in this game. They've showed a lot this season. I think in their division there, where I think they're in the same division as the Colts, I believe they should take that out easily. So I expect the Titans to come out and win this game, not comfortably. Maybe might be like by a field goal or something. Might go to overtime. But I expect this to be a very, very, very good game.
So I'm going Titans as well. Next up, the Washington football team against the Green Bay Packers. Washington's allowed 31 points per game this season.
Oof.
It's the most in the AFL, in the NFL. Joseph also says Chiefs are making the Super Bowl. And he also said Titans don't win big games. So
Joseph.
They have to start somewhere, man. They have to start somewhere.
Didn't they beat
Mahomes has struggled this
beat the
season.
Bills last week?
Unfortunately, Joseph, the Chiefs don't win big games either. So I don't know that the Chiefs are going to be making the Super Bowl either.
I'm telling you what, Coop. I picked them to win it all at the start in our first ever preview, and I'll be honest with you. I'm worried at this point in time. I'm worried. They need to start showing me more. I've watched games and they're starting to get figured out. Not being able to blow out teams like they could before, but then even before they would grind out wins. They're struggling. So,
but Washington
Packers.
That was such a fast answer. I mean, pretty much the sunshine in the Washington football team at this point is just Chase Young. And other than that, I mean, there's a little bit of hype when Taylor Heineke steps on the field, but he's so young and inexperienced that it's like nothing's really going to happen there. So, yeah, I would probably take the Packers by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm going to go Packers as well in this one. A few other things in here.
The line is at 8 points, so I think you could you tease that down to a 6.5, and then just multi that in with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win, and you just get yourself a nice 2-1 on the week, ladies and gents.
Kilted Hager says Packers have started to get it going after their wobble. I still reckon they are wobbling just a little bit. They've been very lucky in the last few weeks, the Packers, but you need a bit of luck in the NFL. In any sport, you need a bit of luck, especially in sports where the regular season, like in the NFL, really does mean a lot. So you need a bit of luck sometimes to get over the home field. Next up, we don't need to spend too much time on this one because Falcons at Dolphins, both teams ranked bottom 5 in scoring defense. Not for anything. It could be the most points we score for the whole season because we both stink at defending it. Tua actually looked okay last week.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
But
don't lie.
But no. Like he looked good out of the fact of how bad we played, but I still don't think he's any good. But the only thing, just a quick prediction on this. I'm going Falcons. I'm not going with my boys. Let's give a quick prediction. We don't need to deep dive into this because there's something else we want to talk about with the Dolphins. So Coop's going Dolphins. I'm going Falcons. You're going Sauce.
I don't even know. Let's flip them. We'll just go with the home team. We'll go with Dolphins. This is a flip 'em game. Matty Ice just has shown that he just doesn't have it anymore.
The news that we do want to talk about, this is the only talking point really about the Dolphins at the moment, is the Deshaun Watson trade, which of course Coop came on this show in the preseason review. Not even week 1, preseason, and he said that Dolphins will make a move for Deshaun Watson at some stage this season. It's definitely going to happen. We heard obviously little rumblings before the season started, but Coop was very confident. He said you need someone that's going to be able to sling the ball, and the Miami Dolphins team is much better than any team he had in Houston on the defensive side. Obviously, we've struggled a bit, but it could also be that they don't want to play for that quarterback in the locker room. It can be a multitude of things. Deshaun Watson could come in and we could go on a 5-game win streak and save the season, potentially. So you never know. You just don't know. So your thoughts on Deshaun Watson potentially being the starting quarterback for Miami could be not this week, next week he could be starting, potentially. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, this one is so tough because there's so much mud around it, like the Ben Simmons situation, that it's like the organization is obviously kind of displeased with the player. The difference here is that there's some legal fire surrounding Deshaun Watson. So, even if he gets traded per se, or even if, the Texans let him go, you don't know necessarily, which would be awesome. You might wake up one day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday morning and see Deshaun traded to Miami, which would be awesome. But then you don't know if the league is going to sanction something that says he can't play for 10 games or a year or whatever based off the penalties or until all the shit's resolved. And then that kind of adds more gray area to it. Whereas, the Simmons situation, you can just kind of trade him, or you could trade Kyrie Irving and they could play tomorrow. So there's kind of a little gray area around it. I think if he goes to the Miami Dolphins, though, it's great for Miami, because obviously I don't think when the ball comes out of Tua's hands, anyone on the field trusts it with any form of confidence. So
Yeah, that's fair call. I'm not going to disagree as a Dolphins fan.
He's a massive upgrade. He's 100%. He's a massive upgrade. It's just obviously, as Cooper mentioned, the off field stuff. If I'm the Dolphins, I mean, I reckon you take the punt, because let's be honest, Tua's not getting you anywhere.
Yeah, that's the bigger thing, right? Is if you're the Dolphins, are you willing to throw dice and just take the risk? And that's the question you got to ask yourself.
It's true. I'm happy to take the risk as a Dolphins fan.
I would be too. If I'm a Dolphins fan, I would say fuck it.
The fact that we're 1-5, and even if he gets sanctioned, I look at it and go, it's a lost season anyway. So if he's sanctioned for the whole season, this season, and then next year he can come and play, that's fine by me. But the only grey area, like you're saying, Coop, that I worry about is he might get sanctioned by the league. But by the time the 2022 season rolls around, he might have been found guilty, and then we've traded for a guy that's not even going to have one start for the team. That's my biggest worry.
The other thing too is talent triumphs everything. I compared it to this once before, and it's a little different, obviously, because it's a sexual assault case. But I compared him to Michael Vick. In the sense, when Michael Vick got his bans from the NFL, no one gave a shit, right? When they ended, everyone was fully expected and excited to be oh, yep, we got Michael Vick coming back as our quarterback. This is going to be a good day, And it's a little different, obviously, when you're doing stuff, with illegal dog rings and animal abuse in comparison to sexual assault. But the point is that the NFL has kind of remained that league, especially in American sports, for forever, where in the MLB, if you got caught Ray Rice, you smacked your wife around in an elevator and there was footage of it, or in the NBA you did that, you didn't play in the league again necessarily, or you played overseas and you kind of lost your opportunity. The NFL is kind of notoriously a second chance league. So if there's any opportunity for him, I think it is in Miami.
There you go. We'll see how that progresses. Next up, we've got Saucy's, both of his two favorite guys, Lamar Jackson and Joey Burrow, playing against each other. It's Bengals at Ravens. Jackson is 5-0 against Cincinnati in his career. So thoughts on this one?
I'm excited. The bookies have the line at 6.5 to the Ravens. It should be a good matchup. But ultimately, I'm going with my boy Lamar. I mean, both of these guys, I love Joey Burrow and I love Lamar Jackson. I like both of their play styles. But I'm going to go with Baltimore Ravens at home. I just don't think that Cincinnati will have enough firepower to get over them, and they've shown that they come back at home. I mean, they did it to Colts, did it to my boys. They came back in the fourth quarter and piled on the points. At times, Lamar Jackson's throwing this season has been average. I mean, last week it was average. He threw 2 interceptions, but he has shown at times, in crucial times, that he can make a big play, and with his arm, not just his legs. So, there's been times this season where he's had to throw and, get it within field goal range to kick the winning field goal and make that, game winning throw. And he's been able to do it a few times. So, at the end of the day, when it counts, he's been able to step up. So I just think he will have too much for the Bengals. Coop?
Yeah. So I said this to someone who I talked to quite a bit on Instagram, same way I met you guys. I think I want to say his username is Fair Trade. It used to be the Box Break Bully, but he lives out in Carolina. He's a big Ravens fan. I don't think that Lamar Jackson is a top 5 arm, but I think that if you were to take this season as a whole, I think he's the unanimous MVP. And for that reason, I think I'd pick the Bengals. And I think the line, 6.5, 7 points, a touchdown score, I think that's about fair. Or sorry, not the Bengals, the Ravens, with Lamar Jackson. I mean, I think he's the unanimous MVP this season. Even though, like you said, his throwing at times sauces, sometimes he misses some basic check down throws or swing routes, and you're kind of wondering, oh man, you really should have just planted your front foot and made that throw that's like 5 yards ahead of you. But at the same time, there's just something to be said for how he puts literally the entire team on his back with no run game, basically provides his team a run game, scores, constantly wins, and just gets.
What about the touchdown last week where he just like burst through the middle and then he's just boom, away he goes, man. Like he gets through the gap. No one's catching him.
So when
I was just gonna say, I was like, I hope at some point they do some sort of trick play where they put him as out on wide receiver or something and just get the second quarterback in there, just throw it out to him and just put the blockers in front of him. He could do some damage in the open field.
He's incredibly athletic, and when I think about it, right, the reason why I said it that or articulated it the way I did is because when I think about top 5 quarterback arms, I don't think of Lamar Jackson as a top 5 arm. But when I look at this season as a whole, he's the unanimous MVP to me, without a doubt.
He's been very good. I'm going Baltimore in this one as well. You boys have summed it up very, very well. Next up, we've got Lions at Rams. This is a quick one. I'll give you my tip. It's going to be Rams. It's Stafford and Goff versing their former teams. It is at SoFi in LA, so I'm going.
16 points is the line. $1.08 for the win. $1.08. 16
Holy
points.
Shit.
I think there's not much more that needs to be said about this.
Yeah.
Dude.
Rams should demolish them. Lions stink. They should be tanking and trying to get a better draft pick. You're not. I'm telling you. Why do you think the Rams got rid of Goff? They realized he was. They were lucky to make a Super Bowl with him. It had more to do with having Gurley there and that running game and
Donald
that's why they moved off him.
Stafford going to drop a 30-piece nugget on these boys. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna.
He could potentially throw for 5 TDs.
Yeah, these guys are in trouble, man.
Yeah. Next up, we have the Eagles against the Raiders. It's at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Phillies won 3 of their last 4 against Las Vegas.
It's upset time. Upset city time, baby. Philadelphia is taking this one home. They're coming to smack Las Vegas in the mouth as they recover from their bigoted coach who is not done with his foul emails, apparently. So, as Las Vegas sits and recovers with their coachless team, I think that Philadelphia and Jalen Hurts will go in there and spank them around, show them who's dad, and go home with a win.
I agree. Sauce?
Yeah, this is going to be a good game. I think, Philly fans should be mildly, happy with the performance of the team thus far this season. I mean, Jalen Hurts has showed promise at times. I think they have to persist with him and keep giving him these games. And, ultimately by the end of the season, you should be able to determine, whether he's going to be a quarterback you keep persisting with and keep getting games into, try to get better pieces around him. They do have a decent rushing game and, the Raiders, they're 25th in the league rushing defense. So, and Hurts can also rush as well. He's a bit of a hybrid quarterback, a bit like Lamar. He can get out in the open field. He's got a bit of speed. Not as much as Lamar, but he's fast. He's fast. So yeah, I like that pick. But there's something about I don't know. I don't know if it's the same in the NFL, but all I know is in the AFL, our native game, where there's like here in Australia, a coach gets fired or gets sacked. The following week, for some reason, the team pulls out a good performance. Now, I don't know if that same sort of mantra sticks with in the NFL if that happens, but I'm just going to think, behind their home crowd, the bookies have them at -3 on the spread. So I'm expecting the Raiders to come out.
Didn't they already have a game since John Gruden got fired though?
Last week, I think.
Yeah, I think they did.
Oh, they got lost.
Did he get?
And they lost. Yeah.
All right, I'm still going with the bounce back win here at home.
Okay. All right. Yeah, stick to your guns. Stick to your guns.
Fair enough. Next one is just an easy one. Texans at
Jesus,
Cardinals.
their injury list is massive. I'm just looking at it now. The Raiders, it is huge. Wow.
Texans
I can see why the Eagles could win here. They actually got double the amount of injuries.
Source, can you tell us what the line is on Texans at Cardinals?
18.
Arizona's averaging 32.3 points per game this season.
Holy moly.
It's how much?
32.3, almost 32.5 they're averaging a game.
What? That's the line?
No. That's Arizona.
The line's 18
average.
minus 18.
Oh, yeah. 18. Okay.
Arizona as a team, they score 32.3 points per game.
I was like, the line's 32. That's rigged. I was like, holy shit.
That in itself is like impressive. It's the most in an average for a team since 1948.
Damn.
Like 32, almost 32.5 points a game, what you're averaging through 6 games. Like, if you average that for a whole season, you pretty much win a Super Bowl, because if your defense holds up, because 32.5 is a lot.
We're all taking the Cardinals here.
100%. I'm not even going to spend too much time on this. It's just game over.
Texans are a waste of my breath.
Positive says Texans in an upset with a laughing emoji. I think he's just trying to give those Texan. He's trying to give those positive vibes to the Texans fan.
Positive. What a guy.
Next up, we got Bears at Buccaneers. Thoughts on this one? It's interesting. The 3-3 Bears against the 5-1 Bucks.
Yeah. Tom is gonna go in and spank his son, and continue. I mean, it's really what Tom's doing every week, is just shaking hands with his sons, and then leaving the field. I mean, it's
unbelievable.
It's absolutely impressive, dude.
It's amazing to watch, man. It's so good.
Yeah, it's 11.5 is the line. 11.5 is the line.
Yeah, it's just like 2 touchdown score again. Yeah, I
rightfully so. It should be. Definitely should be. Bucks for me as well. Source Bucks, I'm assuming.
Yeah, Bucks for me. Chicago, got to keep persisting with Fields. Yeah, keep getting games into him.
The next two,
we'll see.
The next 2 games are going to be probably the best. Actually, next 3. We'll start with the one that's already concluded, and it's Broncos at Browns, and Browns got the win 17-14. No Baker. It was pretty much. It was just probably actually no Baker, but technically it was Baker, because a lot of people, contrary to what people actually believe, because they got short-term memory loss, they were comparing Baker to, he could have been Russell Wilson. But a lot of actual pundits out there in the States and sports analysts said, well, he's no different to Case Keenum. And what do you know? They got Case Keenum, and he started for the Browns, and the team looked exactly the same. So they just rely on the running, as I said. So your thoughts on this? They're 4-3 now, the Browns, with that win. I said Duke Johnson had 22 rushes for 146 yards, a TD.
Yeah. I thought the Browns would be a championship contending team, and they have a massive load of injuries. Baker Mayfield obviously has a shoulder injury. Not that Baker Mayfield is the sole reason. Nick Chubb isn't where he's supposed to be at. It's hasn't been the season Browns fans were expecting, I think. But I still think that whether you use Casey Keenum or Baker Mayfield at quarterback, it's probably about the same result, like you said. But I think the question you have to ask yourself is which one has the higher ceiling.
Of course, it's Baker.
Yeah, and then the answer is, of course, it's Baker.
Yeah, of course it is. That's 100%. 100%. So I don't know. I'm the same as you, Coop. I know they've got injuries, but I'm more just like, yeah, they'll be a playoff team. Will they do anything in the playoffs? Probably not. Unless they get all their guys back potentially and something changes.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it's going to be a rough season for the Browns, but rough in terms of like they shouldn't have a losing season. They should have probably a winning season. And then they should make playoffs anyway in their division. And hopefully they might be able to pinch a couple games and get a few players back and go on a bit of a run. And you never know. Funny things have happened before in our sport, but they're not in a bad position. It's not like they're 2-4. They're 4-3, so they're over 500. So nothing to stress there. This is the last two games are probably the two that I'm looking forward to the most. We've got in the first one, the 2-4 Colts, Saucy's boys, against the 2-3 49ers. Indy's won 4 straight games against San Francisco, and it's a game that the Colts definitely need to get. The same with the 49ers. It's a must-win game for both teams. Thoughts on this one? Bit of Carson Wentz, my boy JT, Jonathan Taylor is a machine. Some thoughts,
yeah. This is like a 50-50 one for me. Like, I feel like this one could go either way. I'm going to take the Colts, though.
Whoa.
I think the Colts are going to win this one. I don't think the Niners are quite in the place they need to be. And I was also wrong about the Cardinals. The Cardinals are a lot sharper than I thought they would be. I thought it would take a couple years to iron out how strong that team would be in the division, and they're clearly the strongest team in the division by far.
I'm going Colts also.
In that division, the Cardinals were like $7 at the start of the season to win the division.
Oh, I believe it.
It was like crazy price. Nuts.
You'd be loving. I'm going Colts. I reckon Wentz and the boys down there will get it done. Sauce? You sticking with your boys?
Oh man, I might as well back them in. But a bit more confidence. We need to keep the chains moving. I mean, we're ranked 11th in rushing yards in the NFL. But that's what we need to do, because if we can get the chains moving along the ground, open up that play action. Wentz does have an arm and is a threat over the top, which is good. But there's at times that his decision making, it's a bit lackluster. But we got to keep persisting, because it's all we got. I mean, he's better than our backup. So, but yeah, we need to just get the run game going. If we can get that going and establish that early, we will be on in this one. The 4 points, I think that's a fair estimate. I think this is going to be a close game.
I like it. I reckon it will be too, but the last game's the one we want to talk about. This is the one. Saints at Seahawks. Seattle's 11-2 on Monday Night Football under Pete Carroll. That's the best win-loss in NFL since 2010. It's not Russell Wilson-led Seahawks. It's Geno Smith-led Seahawks. And Coop, we're going to start with you on this one.
Yeah, I'm a be at this game Monday night.
Yeah, let's go.
So I will be eager to see what happens. I like
hurling abuse at Geno Smith.
I like Geno Smith a lot, man. He's great for being a veteran quarterback. He's obviously no Russell Wilson, but you do what you can. This is another one that's like, it can go either way. At this point, though, it's like the Seahawks season is so trashed that it's like we're all just going there to have beers and see what Geno can do, because I'm serious. Because Russ is out for 8 weeks and we're already deep in the pit of the division, so we're really just going to see what Geno can do and have some garlic fries. So I'm not really incredibly worried about Jameis Winston's throwing ability. I am going to take the Hawks by 3.
Whoa.
Let's go, baby. We're at
Sauce.
home. We're at home.
You see, the line's at 4.5. I think the Saints should have enough to get the job done.
You wish.
Look,
You wish.
primetime football. Jameis wants to put on a show.
Yes,
It's
let's
either
go.
going to be a show of touchdowns or a show of turnovers.
Pick
So
City, baby. Pick
yeah,
City.
so that's Coop wants Pick City. I don't think it's going to be the case. I think they're going to come in there with an elaborate plan. Peyton, he's a mastermind. So I think they'll have enough to shut Gino down. I mean, he led well last week, but then it came to the final drive, and he let himself down. So I think the Saints will get the job done. $1.43 favorites.
I'm actually not going to give a tip on this. I'm just going to sit on the fence here. So then Sauce is tipped against Coop, and Coop's gone for his team. And if they want to argue amongst each other, it just makes a good time for me to just sit here and enjoy it. So I'm not going to give a tip. I reckon it could be Pick City, though. I genuinely do. Jules, what's happening? What's good, boys? We are well. Hope you are also. Now, there's a few teams that have got the bye. We can just run through them. If you want to stop and mention a few things about any of these teams, by all means, just hold me up. First one is Steelers. Anything on those guys you want to discuss?
Big Ben, hang him up.
Yeah,
whoa, jeez. All right, straight up.
That's really all we have to say on that. Pittsburgh.
Bang.
Hang him up, motherfucker. Hang him up. All right, you're old. You look like you use a bidet, and it's time to hang it up because you can't throw a football no more. All right, so that's all we have for Big Ben.
Next up is Bills.
Bills. Jesus Christ, those guys are fucking lethal, eh? I mean, I would not want to be any team in the NFL that plays those dudes. Those guys are genuine Super Bowls contenders. I would be very, very cautious playing them week to week.
There's a moment in what was it Bills against Titans? I think it was last week. Josh Allen made a throw, and I was watching the game, and when it's very rare, like you get it in sports where there's in basketball where there's a massive poster or a massive block on a dunk, and you G up, and I'll give you the reaction. It was me sitting there, and Josh Allen threw this massive bomb. I think it was the Singletary on the run. Just put it right in front of him. He ran onto it, and just literally just had to put his hands out in the end zone, catches it for a TD. And just the way he slung it, he assessed the pocket off the snap and just went, yep, bang, put it right in front of me. And my reaction was, whoa, literally. I went, whoa. You know what those moments where you're so surprised of how good someone is?
Oh yeah.
And you've seen some of that shit, especially if you watch the NFL and you've seen guys like Brady, and you've seen Manning, you've seen Breeze. You've seen these guys, and I understand Josh Allen isn't any of those guys. I'm not saying he is, but the caliber of the throw and the stuff that he has in his kit bag is unbelievable. Some of the stuff he can do, and but he can sling that fucking football.
Yeah, but these dudes, man, these Mahomes, the Allens,
yeah.
I mean, to go off what you said, you're watching the next generation of Mannings and Favres, and you're watching.
100%.
History is happening, as they say. History is happening.
Next team up, Chargers. Obviously getting spanked last week.
Yeah. Yeah, they're good. I think they're going to be just about where I said. I said that they're going to get a lot better this year, and I think they'd finish with about 10 or so wins. But I think they just have a couple inconsistencies they need to iron out. Herbert's the real deal. He's, again, another quarterback in that category of you're getting the privilege of watching the next passing of the torch, the next Mannings, the next Favres, the next Brady's or whoever. It's these young dudes they're studs, man, and they're real high caliber players at the quarterback position.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. This the AFC West. That's wide open now. The way that the Kansas City Chiefs are playing. I mean, that's anyone's division between the Chiefs, the Raiders, the Chargers. Who can put it together? I mean, you'd think it out. Or logically, you would say the Chiefs. They're the only positive they've got is they haven't lost a game in the division yet. The Chargers. They're looking good. It's going to be a tough division, that one, in the end. We thought it was going to be Chiefs out and out. But the Chargers are putting in a charge for it, no pun intended. So, look, they're good. Herbert's a gun. Keep persisting with him, keep putting pieces around him, and he's going to be a star in this league for a very long time, albeit he remains healthy, which is it can be anyone's downfall in sports. So, yeah.
I like it. Next up, we've got the Jags.
Yeah.
What have you seen from Trevor Lawrence that you've liked, what you haven't liked? Have you watched much of him, Coop?
Oh, man. You know what? I'm going to be completely honest. I have been more engulfed in the drama surrounding Urban Meyer than I have in Trevor Lawrence's pocket presence. Like, Urban Meyer got caught for having some hooker on him at a bar in the Midwest, and that was more intriguing to me than watching Trevor Lawrence getting just sacked 10 times a game.
It just shows nothing's changed there at the Jags. Him getting, they still can't get an offensive line.
It goes
much
back,
of the same.
It goes back, Sauce, to a lot about what you said about the Jets when we were talking and Dama asked you about what you thought about Zach Wilson. Fortunately, you got a team that is struggling to even build a functional support system around the quarterback they draft. So then, the quarterback plays like shit or throws a bunch of picks or, doesn't play, like the first round pick that you drafted. And everyone goes, well, he's a bust. He's a bust. And he gets tossed aside. Then he goes to a team that has, 4 or 5 dudes that actually know how to grab dudes in the chest pads and block. And he throws the ball 300 yards his first 5 games. And people go, holy fucking shit, dude, this guy's the man. And you're like, yeah, well, now he's got some teammates. So it's, if you can build a functional support system around a player, because like you said, it's a team game, it's just a whole different narrative.
I like it.
Yeah.
Last 2 Vikings.
Positive, still confident that the Chiefs will take the division.
I like his positive vibes. No pun intended there.
Yeah.
The Vikings. Look, what more do you want to see? Look, I have a soft spot for old mate Kirk. I think he's a serviceable quarterback. There's worse quarterbacks in the league than him. I think
you make it sound like he's an escort. Like he's serviceable. Like, yeah.
You've got. Well, let's be honest. You got Tua on one end, right? Would you rather have Tua or would you rather have Kirk Cousins? Kirk Cousins has actually shown you can win in the playoffs, right? And lead teams to wins. He's inconsistent at times, but you like that.
And last time we got the Cowboys.
They'll win that division. That division. Dak's looking good.
I said that, though. You know what's funny is I said the Cowboys would win this division. I hope he's listening. I pissed someone off when I said the Cowboys were going to win this division. I hope you know that I love you. I hope you're listening. Didn't mean for you to get so mad when I told you the Cowboys were going to win. But, the Cowboys are looking like a lethal threat, bro.
I like them. I like them. I genuinely do. I reckon they're.
Oh no, dude, they look good.
Thomas, tell us what you said to me during the week. This is a bit ridiculous, but we're going to go with it because
what did I say?
You said they could potentially win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they can. 100% they can.
Oh, they totally can.
He's going with it.
The weapons are unbelievable. And
CeeDee Lamb. Now tell me, Doma, how disappointed you are. How disappointed you are that you didn't didn't load up on this man right here.
I'm pretty disappointed, honestly.
Because
I
you
am.
called him ages ago when the market was so down. You're like, CD Lamb, get this
Where is
guy's
he?
cards. Dak Prescott's going to come back. You're going to throw him the ball. He's going to be an absolute beast. He didn't have a good quarterback last year, being able to get him the ball.
Numbered.
CeeDee Lamb.
Numbered.
Oh,
How much
I
does that cost you, Bob?
remember I bought this and I said
oh,
numbered.
snap.
Numbered. It has to be numbered. This is the coupe. This is
Has
a
to
coupe.
be,
This is a
bro.
coupe purchase, a numbered card. I ain't
Has to
buying no
be.
CD Lamb base prism shit. Come
Bro,
on, man.
You're elite. You don't check pop reports. The pop reports on the card. You don't got time to check pop reports.
Bam! I love that. That's a good one.
Mate, you don't need to check. You automatically, the pot
You
report
ain't got
on
time.
the base cards.
You're too rich to look up pop reports. It's on the
Yeah,
card.
man. 100%. I'm too rich. It only cost me 20 USD for that card. I'm serious. Like, there's so much value in some of these guys in the NFL. It's so funny. Everyone's like, oh, yeah, but I'd rather buy a Prism base. I'm like, all right, you buy that Prism base card for freaking 15 USD.
Straight
You're
up,
stupid if you're buying it for 15 USD. I'll pay 10 USD or 5 USD more and I'll buy a numbered CD Lamb. And it looks way better than the base Prism. So, anyway.
I still don't understand the base craze, but
It's cooled off a lot. It's cooled off a lot, but I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that people can't buy these base cards for $1 to $5 and flog them into PSA for $8.
As much as I gas it up, Sauce, we don't want it to cool down.
We don't because that allows people to move up in the market and buy and sell these lower end cards to then buy higher end cards and keeps the market moving, which is which is good.
Let the sheep eat the grass. Let them eat. let them go.
I like it. That's it, gents. We've covered everyone. It's awesome. So now we just need to look forward to watching all the games, and hopefully next week we can jump on again and we can do a quick recap and cover the upcoming one. So any final thoughts? Nothing. Gone. All right. It's been myself with the great man Sauce and Cardboard Cooper. Once again, looking at the NFL. Keep living, loving, and breathing sport. It's double coverage. Double coverage. And peace.
Peace. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports. Double coverage.